At first glance, your pet seems perfectly fine. She sleeps, she eats, she looks well groomed, and there appears to be no reason for concern. You come home from work, and she just barely lifts her head. You're right beside her, but she turns to face the wall. You leave the room, and she doesn't even get up to see you off. It's easy to dismiss this thinking, she's just grown up, or that's simply a cat's nature. However, the reality might be entirely different. A cat, unlike a dog, won't persistently demand attention by jumping on your lap or nudging you with her nose. She will remain silent, even when her heart is breaking from loneliness. And if you notice these signals, know this: she feels empty, bored, and is longing for your warmth. She hopes you'll realize it before she completely withdraws into herself. Today, we'll explore 7 signs that your cat is suffering from loneliness, doing it so subtly that you might not even see it. Sign number 1. She no longer waits for you at the door. You put the key in the lock, the door opens, and you're met with complete silence. She used to be there, looking at you, sometimes meowing a greeting. But now, there's just emptiness. You walk into your home and find her either sleeping in a far corner, or she just momentarily turns her head and immediately looks away again. This isn't indifference, it's faded hope. She ran to you hundreds of times, but you were busy. She rubbed against your legs, but you walked past. She called for you, but you didn't hear. And now, she's simply afraid of not getting a response again. This isn't a protest, it's deep exhaustion. She stopped greeting you not because she stopped loving you, but because she lost faith that her gesture would change anything. Sign number 2. She sleeps almost around the clock, even when you're home. Yes, cats are big fans of sleep, but there's sleep as part of a healthy biorhythm, and then there's sleep as a means of escaping reality. If she used to doze but still reacted to your steps and voice, and now she just lies motionless, often hiding in a closet or under a bed, this is not rest. This is a refusal to engage with the world. It's her way of saying, if I'm not needed, I will sleep. Why wake up if no one is waiting for me? She's not doing this to spite you. She has simply given up hope that someone will share their time with her. When a cat lacks companionship, she shuts down. She doesn't complain or demand, she simply sleeps to numb the pain. You can walk around the house, talk on the phone, and she won't even stir. Not because she can't hear, but because she has learned not to expect anything for herself from those sounds. It's a bitter resignation disguised as sleepiness. In reality, it is a deafening loneliness. Sign number 3. Her toys lie untouched. Once you bought her mice, balls, and feather wands. She would hunt with excitement, batting them with her paw, and her toys could be found all over the house. And now, everything is in its place. One toy is forgotten under a chair, another by the wall, and a third is still right where you put it a month ago. You decide, she's probably grown up, she's not interested anymore. But in reality, this is a very alarming sign. A cat never completely stops playing, even in her senior years. The play might become calmer, but if it has vanished entirely, it means one thing: she has no one to play for. Play is always about interaction. Even when playing alone, she expects you to notice her skill, to smile, to participate. If the toys are covered in dust and forgotten, it's a silent message. I feel no response. No one needs my games. She is as if to say, if no one wants to play with me, then I don't need it either. I'll pretend I don't care, just to not remind myself of my own irrelevance. Toys are an accurate barometer of loneliness. Look at them. If they are silent, your cat has likely been silent for a long time too. Sign number 4. She has started meowing loudly and for long periods at night. The middle of the night. You're asleep, and suddenly the silence is pierced by a long, mournful meow. You wake up, thinking something is wrong. But the cat is healthy, her bowl is full, the litter box is clean. Despite this, she wanders through the dark apartment and continues to call out. This is not a request for food. It's a cry from the soul. Not feed me, but find me. Let me know I'm not alone. At night, when everything is quiet, she feels her loneliness more acutely, and it bursts out in these pitiful sounds. She does this not to wake you up, but to be heard. as if asking, "You don't look at me during the day, maybe you'll hear me now." If you get up, don't scold her, but just quietly sit down beside her and say, "I'm here." She will fall silent because she's been heard. Sign number 5. She has neglected her grooming. Her fur has become dull and matted. She used to be a model of cleanliness, spending hours grooming her coat. But now you notice her fur has lost its former shine. There's a tangle on her back she hasn't touched, an old spot on her chest. You think, she's getting old, getting lazy. But it's not about age or laziness. It's a symptom of emotional pain. When a cat stops grooming herself, it means she has lost all motivation. It's a marker of deep internal detachment. She sees no point in it, as if she has lost her sense of self-worth. It's similar to a person with depression who stops washing their face or combing their hair. It's the same with a cat. Inside there is silence, outside there is disarray. She isn't lazy, she is broken. And the most terrible part is that she asks for nothing. She just waits for someone to notice, to come over and just be with her. Sign number 6. She stares motionlessly out the window for hours. Have you seen this? She might sit on the windowsill for an hour, 2, or even longer. Her gaze is unfocused. She's not tracking birds. Her tail isn't moving. She is simply staring into the void, as if she isn't there. You walk past, zero reaction. Her mind is far away. And this isn't meditation or relaxed observation. It's an immersion into herself, a mental escape, waiting for something that will never arrive. She has transported herself to a world where it's quiet, where she doesn't have to fight for attention, where the emptiness of the room isn't felt. Sometimes she falls asleep right there, in that same position. If you call her, she'll turn with a delay, as if returning from a great distance. It's not that she enjoys looking out the window, it's her way of surviving. Because out there, beyond the glass, the world demands nothing of her, doesn't ignore her, and doesn't forget. It just exists. But inside the house, there is emptiness, and she feels it every moment. Sign number 7. She lies limply on the floor. This is the most frightening sign because it looks like peace. But this isn't tranquility, it's surrender. She lies on the bare floor, not on a soft blanket or her bed, just on a cold surface, sometimes stretched out, sometimes curled into a tight ball, as if wishing to disappear. You walk past and she doesn't move, doesn't lift her head. You think she's just resting. But if this has become a pattern, if she increasingly chooses nowhere instead of near you, it means she is in pain. Not physical, but emotional. This is how cats behave when they no longer feel like part of the family. They seem to erase themselves from the space, so not to be a bother, not to be a burden. This is the highest stage of loneliness, one that no longer seeks attention, but only needs a silent presence. Your cat will never say, "I feel bad, I miss you." She won't wake you up with sobs or leave you a note. She will simply begin to slowly and quietly dissolve from your life, disappearing from your field of vision, from your thoughts, from your days. And at some point, you'll realize she is physically near, but emotionally, she is no longer with you. She has long since closed herself in her shell. But if you've recognized even one of these signs in the description, it means it's not too late. Go to her. Sit beside her, silently, without forced affection. Just be. Be a presence in her world of silence, a breath in her emptiness, the answer to a question she was afraid to ask. Write in the comments if you've noticed anything similar with your pets. Support our channel if you believe that cats can suffer even in silence. And subscribe if you want to learn to understand what they show only once before hiding it forever.